Hello everyone, I'm Emily Groover, the video production editor of Citizens Cooperative, and thank you for joining us for technology session number 3. This is our Mac Basics class, and if you have trouble getting this on our website, or the presentation isn't working for you, or the audio is wrong, just give us a call at 540-745-2111, and hopefully we can work out that problem for you. Also, if you have any other questions about Macs, just give us a call and maybe we can set up a one-on-one with you. So let's get started. So, powering on and off your Mac. It's super simple. It's the little icon I have right here. It's on your right side, I believe, of your keyboard on the very top, and you just hold that down and it will power on and off your Mac. Or on your desktop, when you choose to shut down your computer, this window will pop up. And you can have a few options. You can either restart your computer, so when you restart your computer, it will just shut off and then come back on. That's usually if you're having a problem with your computer, like it's running a little slow or freezing. If you restart it, usually it solves those problems. Now the sleep option is it doesn't turn off your computer completely, it just kind of saves battery by turning the screen black. And so when you want to come back to your computer, just wiggle the mouse and it will come back awake. So that's what sleep is. Now you could press cancel if you don't want to do any of these options, or you could shut down your computer, which completely shuts it off. And to turn it back on, you would just hold that button again to turn it back on. Now we're going to go over window controls. So if you have Safari open or any other windows, you'll see these 3 little buttons. It kind of looks like a stop sign on the top left of your Windows screen. Now the red button with the X on it is your close button. So if you want to completely close the program, this is the button you would click. Now the yellow button with the minus sign minimizes your window. So if you are trying to work on another window and you don't want that other window in the way, you would just minimize it and it wouldn't close down the window, it wouldn't close the window at all. It would just kind of take it away. And then if you want to pop it back up, you would just click on the icon of the program and it'll pop back up to where it left you. And then your green button with the plus sign is your zoom. So if your window is really small and you want to make it bigger, you can click that button and it will take you to the largest visible. Well, it'll make the window as visible as it possibly can. So that's what the zoom is. Now, if you want to resize your window manually, if you don't want it to be huge like it would be if you click the green plus sign, then there's arrows at the top right. If you click those, and you can drag the window to however size you want it. So that's a cool little feature. Now, hiding windows. If you want to completely hide all of your windows from sight, you can go up to Safari, where it's on your desktop at the top left next to the little apple on your desktop. You'll click Safari and scroll down to Hide Safari. And that will completely hide all of your windows. It won't close them down or anything. It'll just hide them from your view. And if you want to show all your windows, you would just go to Safari and show all, which is right underneath there, you can see. Now if you hide a window and you can't find it at all, just a specific window that you just can't remember where it is, you go to Window, which is at the top left of your desktop, it's the same area where the Safari option was, and you'll go down to Book Report, and you will search through the Windows drop-down list. Book Report is the window that we were looking for, where the check mark is. So all of your little windows will pop up. So right here it has Book Report, Grocery List, My Budget. Those are all the windows that are currently open. And so you would just click on that and it would take you to the window. So in your folders or basically your control panel or so forth, you will have a sidebar to navigate through that can take you through all your files. So it gives you options like all my files, applications, documents, desktop, all that stuff, where it makes it easier to navigate through your computer. And you can kind of tailor this to what you want to show up on the sidebar, and we'll go over that here in a second. If you do not want a sidebar, and then you can click on the Finder menu, which is at the very top of your desktop where the Safari and Windows and View tab was. You'll click on the Finder menu tab, scroll down to Preferences to open the Finder Preferences. Now you can either you will click on the sidebar display, which we have clicked right now, and you can select what you want to be displayed on the sidebar. So such as if you want your music to show up, your pictures, all of that, and you could click what specifically you want in the sidebar. And if you don't want it, you can just choose, what does it say? You can choose to just hide the sidebar, which is you go to View, Hide Sidebar, and if you want the sidebar to reappear again, you would go to View, Show Sidebar. Really simple. Now changing the side of your sidebar icons. Okay, the icons are the little options such as my files, music, all of that what I just showed you, that you would choose what you wanted to be in your sidebar. So you would go to the Apple menu. You would go to Finder and then Finder Preferences again. And then you would go to General, which I have squared off for you. And then you would select from the Sidebar Icon Size menu, which is the image to the right of your screen. And I have it squared off where it says Sidebar Icon Size, and this it has a medium. So you could choose your preference to what you want. If you have not as good of sight, you might want to choose larger icons, or you could choose smaller icons, it doesn't matter. And then you could choose the appearance, the highlight color. You can customize this as much as you want. So now you can customize your toolbar as well in these preferences. So a toolbar is, in many windows such as in Safari or Mail or Finder, include a toolbar at the top of the window. And then here's where you can customize your toolbar, and you'll go to View, which is at the top left of your desktop, where Safari and all those other tabs were. You'll go down to Customize Toolbar, and then you can drag items you would like to add to your toolbar. And if you if you want to take an item off your toolbar, you would just drag it away from your toolbar. All right? And it has a bunch of other preferences. We won't get into all of them, but that is the location where you could customize your toolbar. Now we're going to talk about system preferences. This lets you adjust screen resolution, keyboard controls, all of that stuff. So if you go into your preferences, if you want to quickly search for a preference, you can type in whatever you want on the search bar. So right here it's showing you that it's searching for password, and it gives you all the options for password. So if you want to quickly look for something specific, that is where you go to look for it quickly. Now customizing your trackpad, we're going to go through a few of these. To customize your trackpad, the trackpad, I have it squared off for you. That's the little icon for the trackpad. If you click on that, and what the trackpad is, if you have a laptop, a Mac laptop, that is your mouse. They call it the trackpad. And we'll go over how to use your trackpad a little more in depth here in a minute. Excuse me. And so it takes you to the trackpad, and this is where you can customize it. You can tap to click, secondary click, look up, and it has a bunch of different options. And you can choose how you want to scroll and zoom, a bunch of different options. But I will teach you the general options here in a minute. Now, to customize your mouse, if you have a mouse that is attached to your laptop or your computer, here's how you will change the preferences for your mouse. So the mouse is the little mouse icon, And it takes you to this, and you can scroll direction, secondary click, all of that stuff. So that's where you do the mouse preferences. And here you can change your sound. You can also change your sound on the desktop, which it shows the little icon, the little speaker icon. But this is also where you can change it and change what alert sounds or notification sounds you want. And so the icon, I squared it off for you, is a little speaker sound. And you could go and choose your alert sounds, what volume you want it at, output volume, and all of that stuff, where you can mute your volume as well. So Alright, now we're going to go over the trackpad controls. I just showed you how to change the preferences for the trackpad. Now we're going to kind of go over it a little more. So it's kind of confusing. It's a lot of stuff to take in. So if you want to go back and look through this video, it's probably a good idea because you might not get it all at first. I know I didn't. So we'll go through them one by one. This is how you would scroll on this is a laptop, a Mac laptop. So if you don't have a laptop, you don't have to worry about this. But to scroll on your laptop, you would have a 2-finger swipe in the direction you want to move your content. So up and down. That one's pretty easy, but it's 2 fingers. Now a smart zoom, to zoom into something, you would double tap with 2 fingers to zoom, and then double tap again to return to the normal size. To zoom in, you want to pinch in to zoom. Well, you want to pinch out to zoom in and pinch in to zoom out. So it's a little opposite, which is a little confusing, but that's how you do that. So you pinch out to zoom in to zoom out. To swipe to navigate, if you have some windows open, to swipe, a horizontal 2-finger swipe will show the next or previous page. So you'll just swipe over to whichever way the window that you want to be at is. So if you have something at the right, you would swipe to the right. Well, if you have something to the right, you would swipe to the left. It's opposite. Really confusing. So to get to mission control, and we'll talk a little bit more about what mission control is here in a minute. But to get to mission control, it's 3 fingers, not 2, 3. 3-finger swipe up to your trackpad. To exit, you 3-finger swipe down to leave mission control. So swipe up to open it, swipe down to close it. And to swipe between full screen apps and spaces, so this is your different apps, we'll go over all of this here in a minute, is your 3-finger horizontal swipe on your trackpad. So just swipe horizontal with 3 fingers to navigate through your apps. Now, to view your Launchpad, and we'll go over that in a second, what a Launchpad is, you would take your thumb and 3 fingers, so your thumb and 3 fingers, and pinch them together to get to your trackpad. And for the app expose, which shows where all your apps are, you would do a 3-finger swipe down. And to close out of that, you would 3-finger swipe up. So if you are somewhere else besides your desktop, like in another window, and you want to go straight back to your desktop, you would take your thumb and 3 fingers and pinch outwards, not in, outwards, to go instantly back to your desktop. And to look up something, you would 3-finger tap on your trackpad at the bottom. So it will look up like a word that you have your cursor under, or something that's highlighted, and it will automatically look that up. That's kind of a helpful little thing to have. And to go to your notification center, you will 2-finger swipe to the left from your right edge on the trackpad, as you see the little image doing. And to hide your notification center, you'll just drag the 2 fingers from center to the right edge again. And to show all of your Safari tabs, when Safari has multiple tabs open, you can do a 2-finger pinch to show the tabs with live content. So just pinch it together with 2 fingers, your thumb and your pointer finger. And so I know that's a lot of information that I just threw at you, but feel free to go back through this video and look at it. There's a lot of stuff, so it can be confusing, but once you know it, it gets pretty ingrained in your head, so don't stress about it. So now we'll go over a few of the terms that I spoke about. Now, we're going to talk about the dock. You're probably wondering what that line at your desk, like underneath your desktop at the very bottom is. That is called your dock, and it holds your favorite apps, documents, and more. And when you have an application open, for example, if you have Safari open, an illuminated dash will be beneath your icon, so that's how you know something is open. So organizing your dock, if you want an icon in a different location, all you have to do is hold it down with your cursor and drag it to a different location on your dock. So for example, if you want the Safari closer to the center of your dock, you can do that. Now, you cannot remove the trash or the finder icon on your dock, but you can move them around your dock. But we'll go over how to remove items on your dock. So removing from your dock, to remove, you would hold your cursor down on it, wait a couple seconds, then release the icon and it disappears. So you're going to click on it, drag it away from the dock, wait just a couple seconds, release your mouse, and then the icon will disappear and this little cloud of smoke will poof and it will be gone. So removing the item does not remove it from your computer, it just removes it from your dock. So if you accidentally delete something from your dock, don't freak out. You can always find it through your Finder and put it back on your dock. Now we're going to talk about stacks. Now you'll see the icon right beside your little trash can will show all of your open folders, okay? Now, and it also shows all your downloads as well. Now the download stack contains files you download from Safari, Mail, or from your messages. And you could create as many stacks as you want by dragging folders to the right side of your dock, which is shown right here. Now, so to customize your stacks, you will just right-click on the little icon next to your trash can, and this menu will pop up that you see. And you can do shortcut menus, such as you can sort by, and it gives you can sort by name, date added, date modified, date created, and what kind of document or folder it is. And then you could choose how to display it. You could display it in a stack, or you could display it in a folder. And it also gives you the option of view content as fan, grid, list, or automatic. So this is how you kind of customize how you want to see your folders and documents. So if you want to open a folder that's represented in your stacks, such as, I think it says the yard sale down here. If you want to open that, you'll click on that and then click Open in Finder. So you click that and then you can open the document. So that's how you do that. Now this is what, how we were looking at customizing your stack. If you choose the grid option, this is what the grid looks like. And you can kind of scroll back and forth if you have a lot of applications. And that's kind of, if you like that, it's an easier way to navigate. So in your customizing stacks options, you can pick grid, and this is what it looks like. And to click the back arrow, just go back, which is at the top left. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about the Finder. The Finder we kind of went over with on the sidebars. The Finder is where you navigate through all your files and folders on your Mac. So this window opens up, which we've seen this before because we were talking about the sidebars and customizing your sidebar and stuff, and it shows all your files, documents, music, pictures, so on and so forth. So here is where you can choose your icon view, which shows you how you want to see your icons. So at the very top of the window, it has, this is your icon view, I believe is what it is called. And it just shows little pictures of each icon, such as as you see here, it has the App Store, Calendar, Dashboard, all that. So that is what I squared off. It's like 4 little squares inside the big square. That is the icon view. Or you can choose the list view, which is the lines. And this just shows the name of the app or folder or document and just shows it in a list like you see here. Or you could choose a column view, which gives you different columns. It's kind of like a list, but it just kind of packs it in more. So if you go, like for example, this goes to expense report, it takes you to all the dates, and you'll click July 2014 and takes you to whatever's under that folder. So it just keeps columning up. Or you can do cover flow, which on this, it gives an example of pictures, and it'll show you the pictures. And that's kind of cool. So out of those 4, that's how you can look at your icons. I mean, apps, files, or downloads. Now, using your folders to create a folder, for example, if you want to create a new folder in your documents, you can click where you want the folder to appear, such as right here we have documents, and you'll choose File, New Folder. Okay? And then you drag any of the files or other folders into this that you want, or you can copy and paste. And that's how you create a new folder, and you can name it however you want by clicking on the name. And you can jump to these folders in the Finder by using the sidebar, which we have already talked about. So, got you a little caught up there. And you can also jump to certain folders from the Go menu, which is at your desktop. It's just a shortcut that makes it easier to get to things. So it's at your desktop at the top where the apple is. You click Go and it'll have all your files, documents, and all that stuff right there for you to go to. Now the Applications folder, if you don't know what that is, it holds all of your apps, and to open them you just double click on them. Now renaming an items, I kind of already touched base on this, but you just click on the name under your folder, or click the name in the Finder, and then type the new name and then press the return key, and it'll automatically change the name of that folder. And you can always change this. Whatever name that you put in it isn't going to be permanent. You can always go back and change it. So deleting items, you can select the item from the file, the folder, whatever, and drag it to the little trash can icon that is on your dock. And that's how you delete an item. Okay. So now I'm going to go over the Launchpad. Now the Launchpad helps you find, organize, and easily open your apps. So it has all of your apps on it. And to get to the Launchpad, we kind of went over this, but you could either click, well, you have a few options that you could get to the Launchpad. You can either click the Launchpad icon on your dock, which I just showed you what it was, is that little rocket ship. And then or you could press the Launchpad key on your keyboard. It's a little key on your keyboard. Or you could pinch together your thumb and 3 fingers, which we kind of went over already. So there's a few ways you could get to your Launchpad, so don't worry about not getting to your Launchpad. And these screens that you see here are your Launchpad. Now navigating through your Launchpad, there's a few ways you can do that as well. You can move between pages by pressing the right and left arrow on your keyboard, or you can click on the dots at the very bottom. You see that I've kind of zoomed in on them. So those are your different screens that you can navigate through. So if you have a lot of apps, you might have different screens. If you don't have a lot of apps, you might just have one page. So it kind of depends on how many apps you have. Or you can swipe left and right with 2 fingers on your trackpad, which we kind of went over. See, all this is making sense now. So your Launchpad folders, you can organize your apps into different categories. For example, if you have iMovie or pictures and you want to make kind of like where all your pictures and photo editing is, you can make a folder for that. So all you have to do is click on that icon and drag it on top of another icon, and it'll make a folder, as you can see right here. that it's done with iMovie and Gallery, I believe. And you can just keep on adding things to that folder, as you see on the very bottom right. Now, leaving your Launchpad, you have a few ways of leaving your Launchpad as well. You can either press Escape on your keyboard, you could click the Launchpad icon again or another icon on the dock, or pinch outward using your thumb and 3 fingers on your trackpad. That will take you out. Now, when you purchase an app from the Mac App Store, which we'll talk more about, it will automatically appear in your Launchpad. So that's where all your apps will appear. If you can't find them, just go to your Launchpad and it will be there. Now, if you want to uninstall an app from your Launchpad and completely from your computer, you just click and hold your pointer on the icon until the icons start to wiggle. Now, this is this is exactly how you would do it on your iPhone or iPad. So a lot of things on the Mac are kind of similar to iPhone and iPad. So after they wiggle, you click the remove button, which is a little X at the top left, and this window will come up asking if you are sure you want to delete it, and you could either click cancel or delete. So now we're going to talk a little bit more about your dashboard, which you can find on your dock, or you could type it into the Finder and it'll pop up. And the dashboard provides you the quick overview of info that you use daily, like your local weather, your notes, your calculator, and a lot more. So, this is what your icon looks like for your dashboard. And when you click it, this screen should pop up. And you can add the widgets. What widgets means are like the little calendars, the different icons that are in your dashboard. So that's what widgets are. And so these are all your widgets on your dashboard, as you see on the right. Now, if you want to add a dashboard widget, all you have to do is click the Add button, the plus sign button on the very lower left screen, then click Icon in Widgets Browser or start typing widget's name. So you can just type in the name of the widget, or you can search different widgets that are popular, so on and so forth. And then you download and install, and it will come up on your dashboard. And if you ever want to remove a widget, just click the Remove button in the lower left corner. All right, now we're going to talk about notifications. These are the little things that pop up when you get a notification, like a message or so forth. And there are different types of notifications. First, you have your banner, which appears at the upper right corner of your Mac for a short period of time, and it looks like this. And it's kind of just a small rectangular icon that kind of, if you get a message, it'll say part of your message that you can see, and to get to it, you just click on it and it'll take you right to that application. Or you can do alerts, which is, for example, if you have an alert set or a calendar, this screen will pop up and you can snooze or close it out. Or you have your badges, which keep count of how many new items or notifications are waiting on you. So, for example, if you have an app, it'll pop up a little red circle of how many notifications you have. And to get to your notification center, it is at the very top right of your desktop. It's like a little list that I have squared off for you. And then you click that and it'll pop up. And that is your notification center. And if you have any pending alerts, these are where you can find all of the pending alerts and notifications that you've gotten. They will all show up in that notification center. And if you want to close them out, just click the X next to them on the right. Now, to do your preferences for your notification center, there are a couple ways that you could get to it. You can either go to your Apple menu, which is a little apple on your desktop, go to System Preferences and Notifications, or you can click the settings icon in the lower right corner of your notification center and go directly to its preferences. And this is what the preferences look like. So, to customize your notification center, after you open it up, this screen will pop up, and this is where you can kind of customize what you want your notifications to look like, such as your banners or alerts. So you can, if you want an alert on your calendar, but you don't want an alert on your mail, this is where you can do it. So for example, you would click on the application you want to work on first, so this one has mail, and you would click on the notifications. Like, for example, I clicked banners to get my notifications through mail. So that's where you choose your preferences. And the Do Not Disturb button, you can activate Do Not Disturb from your notification center. All you have to do is scroll up with your trackpad to reveal the Do Not Disturb, then click Switch On to turn on or off. The Do Not Disturb basically means if you're in a class or you just don't want your computer to go off with notifications, you could just click Do Not Disturb and it will automatically turn off all of your notifications. Or you can customize it, as you see on the very bottom screen window, to different times you want Do Not Disturb to come on. So that's where you do the Do Not Disturb. Now we're going to go back to System Preferences. Sorry, we're skipping around a little bit, but this is how you change your screensaver and desktop images. So there's a couple ways that you can open your screensaver menu. You can either go to your Apple menu, which is the little apple on your desktop, and choose System Preferences. Or from the View tab, you can choose Desktop and Screensaver. Or you can click the screensaver icon, which is what you see above. So once you're in there, you're going to click Screensaver tab to display the screensaver settings, as you see on the left. And it'll come up with a bunch of pictures to preview. So you can either click those images that you see on the left side. There's different types of them that you could click on and scroll through. Or you can create a slideshow. And how you do that is you can either click the image and select one of the slideshow choices, which is on the left. Or you can change the source for your slideshow, which is on the very right towards the bottom of the image. You'll see the source for your slideshow. You'll click on that and this will come up. And you can either, it comes with pre-installed default collections, which, like National Geographic is picked here, Ariel, Cosmos, Nature Patterns, all of those are already in slideshow. Or if you have an iPhone installed, or your pictures are coming onto your laptop, you can choose the recent iPhoto, or you can also choose images from your computer. So you can either do the photo library or choose folder, and you can customize what pictures you want to pop up on your slideshow. So to set the preferences for your slideshow, you can tell it when to activate the screensaver by choosing a time. So after 20 minutes of your desktop being open and you're not messing with your computer, it will switch over to your screensaver. And then clicking the Hot Corners button gives you options to activate or disable the screensaver when you move your pointer to one corner. So you can either have it as an option of when you move your mouse, or you have to move your mouse to one of these corners. You can choose your preferences right there. And that's at the bottom of that screensaver window. And Hot Corners is the option right here that I've circled. Now, locking your screen. To lock your screen, you can choose System Preferences from your Apple menu, and then click the Security and Privacy icon in the System Preferences window. Then you're going to click the General tab and choose an option from your menu. So this is also where you can change your password. So if you lock your screen to get back into your desktop, you would have to put a password in. This is super important because you do have a lot of information on your computer, so it is a good idea to have a password there. So not just anyone could get into your computer, because you have passwords to your email accounts, information that you probably would like to keep more private, such as if you bank online or something like that. So having a password for your computer is a good idea. So this is where you can do that and change your password. So when you lock your screen, to get back into it, you would have to put a password. So So that's that. And then you can also save energy. If you go to choose this, go back to your system preferences from your Apple menu, you can click the energy saver icon in the system preferences window, move the slider named turn display off after. You can choose it goes all the way to 1 minute to never. So you can choose how long you want your screen to be up through that. And if you the shortest amount of time that you keep the screen up, the less energy that you're going to waste. So now connecting to the internet when you get on your computer. If you are using an Ethernet cable, all you have to do is connect that wire to the back of your computer, and it should look like this. And there's a symbol that I put up right here. So all you have to do is do that, and it should pop up where you can use your internet on your computer. Now if you're using Wi-Fi, you will click on your Wi-Fi icon that's at the top right of your desktop. And if prompted, if you choose a network that is secured, it'll ask you for your password. So most likely your network at home is password protected. You would just click on that, put it as your home account, and click remember this network. So it automatically goes to that network every time you're in your home, so you don't have to do it manually each time. And it's kind of what we talked about with the iPhone and iPad, how you do that. So they're really similar. So setting up an email. So when there is an email icon that is on your computer, and the first time that you open that mail, it prompts you to add an email account. So you can add an account through Google or anything, or if you have a swva.net email account through us, you would click other mail account. And then this screen would pop up, and you would put your full name, the email address, and your password to that email, and then click create. So after all that is done and you get into your email, to create an email, you just put, now most of you probably know this, but you just put the address in the to line, which Johnny Appleseed is in ours right now. And you could type the subject and so forth. Now viewing messages will be at the very left, so you can see all of the people that have emailed you. So to just view their message, you would just click on that message. And to start a conversation, you would just click on the message that you want to see and reply to the person, and it'll start your conversation. And that is all in your inbox. So you can get notifications for your mail, which we talked about, and here is what a notification banner would look like. So it would say the person that the message is from, the subject that the message is, and some of the message. And if you click on that, it'll take you right to your mail. Now, organizing mail. To create a mailbox to organize messages, this is what you do. In Mail, choose Mailbox, and then click New Mailbox. And then in the sheet that appears, choose the location for the mailbox. So if you want a mailbox to be under Personal, which we have right here, you would put it under Personal. And you would name that mailbox and then click OK. Pretty simple, and that's kind of how you organize your mail. Now if you want to search for something and it's taking you a while to search for something, all you have to do is on the very top right on the search bar, you can type in the subject of the email, you could type in the person's name of the email, and categorize it by that. Super simple. Now we're going to go over messaging, which is a little different from email. It's more like text messaging back and forth. So if you have an iPhone or iPad connected to your Mac, the messages would be the same throughout all three of those devices. So the messaging icon looks like this. Now setting up your account, you would have to use your Apple ID, which you should have set up at the beginning, but your Apple ID is an email address and a password. Now you have to do this through all three of your devices. and it should be the same throughout all three of your devices. So you just put in your Apple ID, which is an email address, and a password to get started. Now, to start a conversation, you would enter the person's name at the top right, where it says to, their Apple ID, or their chat address. So that you would have to have contacts, which it pulls it from your phone and iPad. And you would add a contact just like you would on your phone. And then you would enter the text at the very bottom. And then when you are done with the message, you just press the return or enter key and it will send it. And it comes up just like a text message would on your iPhone or iPad. And this is how it looks. So exactly like your phone. Now, to start a conversation with another person, just click on the Add Message button, which is what I circled here, and repeat the following steps. Now, you can also get notifications for your messages, which look pretty similar to what your mail messages look like, or you can customize it to what you want. But if you want to reply instantly, you can just click reply and it'll take you right to the messaging app. Now, it also gives you the option if you want to video or audio chat if those services are available to the other person. So if they are, the phone and the little video will pop up on the very top right. To call the person, you would just press call, which is just audio, or to video chat with someone, which is kind of like Skype or FaceTime, you would click on the little camera. Now, like I said, your messages will be on all of your Apple devices. They will stay the same, so that's pretty nice to have. Now we're going to talk about adding a printer. If you have a printer and you connect it with a USB printer, the connection should automatically come up on your Mac. Alright? And if your Mac already has the current software for the printer, the print queue is created for you in the background. If the software is needed for the printer, it will prompt you so, like the window that I have shown on the very right. So if you don't have certain software for the printer that is needed, it will come up and you can install it through that process. Now, if you want to add a printer by air, you would look at the nearby networks of printers. To add a nearby printer from the print sheet, select the printer you want from the printer's pop-up menu. So after you search for the menu, this one is Bill's Office HP. You would click on that. Air Printer is already compatible with an OS X. It automatically adds that without downloading any type of software. But if it's not compatible, you will have to download software, and it will prompt you so with this window. And you can download and install the software needed to use that printer. Now, using system preferences for your printer, you can also add a printer this way. So you can choose the Apple menu, which is the little apple on the desktop, system preferences, then choose View, Print, and Scan. And then you're going to click Add Printer, which is the little plus sign button, and add the printer that comes up. And if there are no nearby printers on your network, select Add Other Printer or Scanner. And you can choose on the toolbar, you could choose default, fax, IP, or Windows. And you could type in the name of the printer, and it will connect that way. Now, how you print is choose File, Print, and you can print from any app that you want to. When you print a document on OS X, it displays the print sheet before you can print it, so you can preview how you want to print it. It also tells you the copies that you want and which printer you want to print it to. And the printing options are, there's a bunch of different ones when this print preview comes up. You can choose the destination, which is the printer that you want to take it. Choose the printer presets, which is default settings, fax, all that stuff. Enter the number of copies that you want to be printed. Select which pages you want printed. So for example, if you are looking through this huge book online and you just want to print pages 3 through 5 without printing the whole book, all you would do is put 3 through 5, and it would just print those pages. It shows you the preview of the page. You can click Help for more information of printing. You can use the PDF button to create a PDF of the printout, or you can click Cancel if you don't want to print it, or click Print when you are done doing your options. And the printer queue this shows you how the notifications of the printer, so how many things that you have sent to the printer. And to manage your printer queue, you would click on the icon to bring up the dock menu for your printer queue. So just click on it and this will show up, and it shows you what printer is printing and what is what. And the tags on the printer queue, the red tag indicates the number of print jobs in your printer queue. So like we saw in the last image, it said the little 2 with the red circle, that's how many print jobs are going on right now. Now if it has a green circle tag, it's a pause symbol. With a pause symbol, it indicates that the printer queue has been paused. Or if it's a yellow tag with a bolt icon in it, that means there was an issue with the printer. And you can also open the print queue from the print and scan settings on your system preferences. So you go to your Apple System Preferences, View, and then Print and Scan. And this is what will pop up. And to manage the printer queue, you open the sharing pane on System Preferences, which we just did, and then you select the printer sharing on checkbox, found in the list of services on the left side. So you see where I have checked off printer sharing, and then choose which print queue to share by selecting the checkbox in the printers column. So right now, the only printer there is Bill's Office, so you just click that. Now, to back up your computer, which is really smart to do so you don't lose anything if your computer crashes, is the Time Machine Backup. You can check your status of your backup by clicking on the Time Machine icon on the upper menu to the right. And you see it's that little refresh with the clock on it. You can see, and it shows you the latest time that it has backed up. Or you can either skip this backup, enter Time Machine, so you can open up the window, or open Time Machine Preferences through there. Now to do it, if you have an external drive that you have hooked up to your computer, you can also do the Time Machine backup through the external drive. So you just connect that external drive with the USB cord, click Use as Backup Disk, Time Machine Preferences opens with this drive selected as your backup destination. Alright? And then this will pop up and you're going to check Encrypt Backup Disk if you want to encrypt the Time Machine Backup external drive using File Vault 2. So that is kind of your backup plan. So if you ever want to go to Time Machine Backup Preferences, this is what it looks like. And you could turn the Time Machine on and off, select the disk, such as external disk, and so on and so forth. And that is all for our Mac Basics class. I'm sorry, that was a lot of information that I just threw at you. It's a lot of stuff with the Mac. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to call us at 540-745-2111. And hopefully we can get whatever problem you have or confusion worked out for you. Our next class is going to be on May 17th. It's going to be an internet security class. We will be talking about social media, scams that you get on the internet or through your mobile device, calling scams. We will also be talking about gaming threats, because I know a lot of your kids are gamers these days. So that's kind of what we'll be talking about. So feel free to call, sign up. It's a free class. Come on out and we'll talk about some internet security. So as always, if you have any questions, please call me. My name is Emily Groover, and thank you for joining us with the Mac Basics class.